White House reporters berate Karine Jean-Pierre regarding the removal of Title 42 and what's taking place at the southern border. And we have a liberal during a congressional hearing saying that parents have no right to their child's sex change. All of that and more here on The Bob Brad Show. Welcome to The Bob Brad Show. It is Friday, December 16th, and as always, support the show by hitting that like and subscribe button, as well as leaving us a brief comment down below regarding anything that we cover in today's episode. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, our lead story of the day is the White House reporters berating Karine Jean-Pierre regarding what's taking place at the southern border and what the heck's going to happen next week when Title 42 is done. Folks, these clips are wild. If you haven't already, again, hit that like and subscribe button, because let me tell you something. I think that she knows that we know that she's lying, because boy, oh boy, does she really, and I mean really, does she lean into this one. She does nothing but lie here. Let's hear it for ourselves. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Thanks. Americans clearly divided about immigration. From the White House perspective, though, should Americans be supportive or concerned with the end of Title 42, which obviously stops most migrants from being able to apply for asylum?
What Americans should know is that the president has done the work to deal with what we're seeing at the border since day one. What Americans should know is that the president put forth an immigration reform policy to make sure that we're dealing with a broken system, to make sure that we're able to protect dreamers, to make sure that we deal with the backlog that we're seeing with asylum seekers, to fix the gutted system that has been around for some time, but certainly was gutted by the last administration. And
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, the lying that's going on here. She's going to kick it off with Joe Biden since day one's been doing everything he can to fix this problem. Really? You're going to start off with that, Karine, as if we're all going to believe you? We know you're lying at this point. He's literally broken the record. No president in United States history since the inception and founding of this country has had more illegal immigrants than this man. And you're going to tell us since day one he's been working to solve this issue? Really? All the while you're suing the state of Arizona for trying to fill in the gaps in the border by putting in shipping containers and razor wire just to help just kind of alleviate it somewhat. But you're going to tell us he's doing everything he can? Does anybody, for the love of God, believe this? It is so wild that she gets away with this stuff. It is so wild. It was so bad today. The lying was so bad that she didn't even take a question from Peter Doocy of Fox News because she knew that man was going to slap her right upside the head with a question. It's unbelievable she gets away with this. And then, to top it off, she's going to blame the other administration, meaning Donald Trump's administration, for what happened. Donald Trump didn't have this problem. He had a slight problem, which has always been there. But hell, he did what he could do. And you wouldn't even finish the border wall that he started. But you're going to tell us Joe Biden's doing everything he can. Oh, he has a landmark legislation. He has this and that. Let's just see who else she's going to blame here, folks.
And the work that the president has done, he wants to do this in a bipartisan way. But what we're seeing is Republicans continue to move forward with political stunts. Many of them are doing this, and we continue to see this for over the last several months. So the president has done the work. He secured record funding. Again, I mentioned 23,000 agents that are at the border who are working night and day to protect and secure the border. And that's because of the work that this president has done. And we're working on anti-smuggling efforts as well. And so, look, what the American people should know is that we have taken the steps. We're taking the step to prepare for what is for when Title 42 is lifted next week. And you saw that from the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Mayorkas was very clear about that. He laid out their 6-point plan when he was at the border just a couple of days ago. And this is an administration that has taken this very, very seriously.
But does the White House think that
He's been taking it very, very seriously. Oh my God, is she going to tell us Alejandro Mayorkas at the border, so everything's going to be figured out? It's been 2 years and you guys haven't figured out a damn thing, and then you're going to be boastful of like, well, we have record funding. We took all your money and it hasn't done anything. Look at us, whoop-de-doo. And she has the cojones to say, oh, well, they're down there securing the border. They don't know what to do. And I'm not blaming the Border Patrol for this. It's the Biden administration's fault. They're doing everything they can at the southern border, but she's going to tell us that the border's secure. Kamala Harris said it. She said it. This is the same lady that told Peter Doocy that they weren't walking across the border illegally. This is the same lady. She don't care, folks. She's going to gaslight everybody. And you're going to have these Democrats, these activists going, oh, look at her. She's so amazing. Oh, look at her. Look at the way she talks and handles everything. Ooh, she's so good. She sucks. She sucks at her job. She's literally the worst White House press secretary I've ever seen. Jen Psaki was better than her.
Ending Title 42, a Trump-era policy, is a good thing.
What I'm telling you is that it was a court order that we are following, and we're going to follow the law when it comes to from what the court has decided to do. What I can tell you is what the president has done over the last 2 years to make sure that we're dealing with border security. We hear it from many Republicans, right? You guys report on it. Many Republicans say over and over and over again that we need to do work at the border, that we need to secure the border. But yet they refuse to work with us on this piece of legislation. Instead, what they choose to do is do political stunts. That doesn't help.
Can I ask one question about Afghanistan?
I told you. It's nothing but lying. Nothing but lying. And nobody calls her out on this. And I put my feelers out, just so you guys know, I'm working hard too. I'm asking the reporters behind the scenes, why is nobody asking her, why are you blaming it on Republicans? Why don't you just do it yourself? Like Trump did. He just did it himself, building the border wall. Why don't you just finish building the border wall? Oh, we're sped to get on this. We're sped to get on that. Nothing's getting to the border wall. You're not finishing it. Arizona's begging you. Doug Ducey of Arizona's begging you to finish the border wall, and you just won't do it. Well, we got another reporter here following up on Title 42 as well as illegal immigration. Let's go ahead and hear it.
Thanks, Karine. On immigration, we've talked to so many Border Patrol agents and leaders who are just really worried and anxious about the possibility of Title 42 ending next week. Big picture, what is the administration doing right now to get ready for that?
So a couple of things that I want to lay out, and I kind of laid this out before, but I want to reiterate it here, is that we're doing the work. We're going to do this in a safe and humane way, and we will have more to share on the proposed preparedness next week before the December 21st date. But look, we also need Congress to act. It is important that they deliver the resources we requested for the border security and management. They need to pass the comprehensive immigration reform that we have put forth. On day one, the president put forth a comprehensive reform.
No, they don't, Karine. No, they don't. Stop putting this on Congress. They don't have to do that. You sat there and removed the things that Trump did. You caused this mess. The Biden administration caused this mess. It is so bad that Democrats are now losing sleep over this. You have no solutions. You have no plans, although you're coming up with Alejandro Mayorkas as a 6-point plan. That guy literally told us the border was secure multiple times, and we've covered it here on the Bald Brad Show. It wasn't something like, oh, we just pulled it out of a hat. It wasn't something like we just read an article. We have it on tape. The guy saying the border's secure. It's secure. Okay, we know what's going on. We have it all figured out. These people are idiots. They're idiots, and they're wasting our money.
Plan that dealt with protecting for dreamers, cutting down the asylum buildup that we have been seeing, especially because of what the last administration did, and they completely gutted the system. And we know that this has been a multi-decade-long problem. We need to modernize the system, and this is something that the president has put forth. And we are looking for Congress to act. We are asking Congress to act, and.
Hand to God, can somebody please, for the love of baby Jesus, write in the comments how anything that she just said is going to fix the issue. Anything. There's a Democrat, a moderate, an independent. I don't care who you are. Is there anything that she just said that actually solves the problem of people pouring across the border? I don't know of one. I didn't hear anything. I haven't heard anything for 2 years. I've just been told the border's secure. That's what I've been told. By Kamala Harris, been told by her. Hell, she told us, if you recall from Peter Ducey when he asked the question, that these people weren't walking across the border. Not happening. Also heard it from Joe Biden. Also heard it from the DHS Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas. I mean, the whole administration says the border's secure, so I don't even know why these questions are being proposed if it's so secure. I don't know why she's bringing up El Paso and other areas of the southern border. What's going on in El Paso? What's the big deal? I heard our border's secure. There's no issues. They can line up all they want, but no issues.
So, but in the meantime, what we have been able to do is the president, as I've mentioned before, has secured historic funding. We have 23,000 border security agents at the border, and that is the most amount that we've ever had. And that's because of what the president has been able to do. And we have worked to launch a historic anti-smuggling operations that are taking thousands of smugglers off the streets. But look, the reality is we need Congress to take action. We need to do this in a bipartisan way, as we have done, as the president has been able to do more than 200 times during his administration.
Just a complete idiot. I'm sorry. I don't like throwing around that word or calling people stupid and stuff. I as those that watch the Bob Brad show, I don't just throw those words around lightly. She's an idiot. Joe Biden is a moron. This administration sucks. There's not many things that they've done well or good. Like, normally you could just come up with something on the top of your head of like, oh, this is what they've done well. But no. They are terrible. Their messaging is terrible. They're lying to you all. Remember, for 4 years, we had to hear these crybabies all over the media, all over Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, complaining about Trump. Look what he's doing. Oh, woo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Where are they all now? Literally, Twitter whole debacle, the Twitter files is out. You got Russia-Ukraine problems. Remember when Joe Biden told Donald Trump, he's going to eat your lunch, man? China's sitting there eating our lunch. And now you got this whole thing taking place at the southern border. No problem. Hey, we're gonna take care of the DACA people. How does that solve the issue at the border? Oh, we're gonna figure out we have a comprehensive immigration plan here of streamlining what takes place at the southern border. Even though 99% of those seeking asylum don't actually meet the qualifications, and then you just let them loose into the interior of the country. You have no damn plan. They have no plan, you guys. Zero. I can't cuss on here. Blank's about to hit the fan next week. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. If you live on one of these border states, good luck, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Karine. DHS warned in a memo obtained by CNN this week that the end of Title 42 will, quote, likely increase migration flows immediately into the U.S. So I'm wondering, how many migrants are you expecting to try and cross into the U.S. through the southern border next week? And is the administration prepared for this anticipated surge?
Let me play press secretary here. Okay, let me play press secretary. Great question. As of right now, what we're looking at from Border Patrol as well as DHS Secretary himself, the numbers are reporting anywhere from 7,000 to 15,000 on any given day. We understand this is a major issue, and ultimately we haven't been able to resolve it in the first 2 years. We're looking to have and work with Congress, especially Republicans, on filling in the missing border wall that's taking place all across the southern border. We've been in constant communication with Governor Greg Abbott as well as Governor Doug Ducey down there in Arizona to fill in those gaps, help them and support them in any way necessary, and try to get more funding along the border wall, as well as getting more security, more technology along the border wall so we could stop the influx of what's happening. And we also have plans for President Joe Biden to get on the podium, get in front of the American people as well as the rest of the world, and tell them to stop coming through the U.S.-Mexico border, that you're going to have to sit there and seek asylum in your own territory, in your own country. We can't handle it. Our localities can't handle it. And we're going to continue to move forward and work with Republicans, independents, whoever wants to take part in this initiative and stop this inflow of illegal immigration coming across the border. Do you think we can get that kind of answer? I literally just BS that off the top of my head. And it's probably going to be a better answer than what she's going to give here. And I don't even do that as a living. I'm not trying to sit there and give myself a pat on the back, but hell, I would never be White House press secretary. But if me as a knucklehead doing this in my closet can come up with some sort of answer like that, you think she could, that's getting paid $180,000 plus benefits to sit there and be the mouthpiece of the most powerful person in the world? Let's see how she answers it.
So look, we have an intensive all of government effort underway to prepare. As I was stating earlier when I was being asked a question by Mary, we'll have more to share ahead of the December 21st deadline. But in the meantime, DHS is surging resources to the border. As you've seen, as you're probably seeing in El Paso, I talked a little bit about this on Monday, where over the last 72 hours, they've moved thousands of individuals out of the city. They're doubling down on the...
Out of the city where, Karine? Where are you putting them? They don't have space down there. You had to put them somewhere. And we know for a fact, some of these people are being let out into the streets. Fox News covered that. The cameras caught this stuff. we're processing them and just we're letting them loose. Hope you come back. Have fun.
Anti-smuggling operations that the president launched months ago. They're also working with our international partners to discourage disorderly mass movements across the border. Moving forward, expect us to continue leaning in on our successful strategy.
Discouraging? We literally did a videotape like 2 or 3 days ago of Mexico police literally escorting 20 busloads of immigrants to the border. What are you talking about? What a bunch of lying, man.
Tragedies like these and like our parole program for Venezuela nationals, which has drastically reduced the number of Venezuelans attempting to enter unlawfully, and will continue to drive messaging in the region to counter disinformation from smugglers. So that's another thing that we have to keep an eye on, is how the misinformation that's going to be going out to smugglers in the next couple of days. And so we have to make sure we'll work together with all of you, our team will, to make sure that that doesn't happen, because that is one.
You guys, this is so crazy. We got to focus on misinformation and disinformation of the smugglers. That's one of the components. I would like to point out the original question was how many, do they have any estimates in terms of what the numbers are going to look like next week when this thing is donezo? She still hasn't answered it, by the way, which I answered it in my first sentence. About 7,000 to 15,000. She can't do it.
One of the big issues that we're seeing when it comes to migrants trying to cross the border.
Are you aware of this warning from DHS, and do you have an estimate of how many people you're expecting will try and cross the border when Title 42
Look, I
goes
don't have an estimate to share with you. What I can tell you is that Department of Homeland
You guys, an average American here in his freaking closet can give you an estimate. Standing on the podium of the White House, I know I'm repeating myself, speaker for the leader of the free world, the most powerful country in human existence, can't give you an estimate. But an idiot in his closet can tell you 6,000 to 15,000 a day can do it. Not getting paid anything can do it. 180,000, zero. 180,000, zero. Idiot. Moron/idiot sometimes.
Homeland Security has put out a 6-point plan. As you all know, my Secretary Mayorkas was at the border just recently to talk about this plan, put out a statement. And so we are focused. We are focused and we are prepared. We will have more to share in the next coming days on this piece. But again, we have done the work from this administration by securing record funding, and we are asking Congress to act. We are not asking for political stunts. We continue to see political stunts from many Republicans out there, and that's not how we're going to fix this issue. They want to secure the border. We've been doing that work on our own, and
what? She's gonna say that they've been securing the border, that they've been doing that work on their own? I'm telling you, I told you off the get-go, right when we started the show, she's really leaning into it today. She don't give a two about what takes place because nobody's following up here. Nobody's calling her out on her BS, and it's frustrating. I sit there and try to advocate for these reporters, and I think I do a pretty good job because I like them, and I think they do a pretty good job most of the time, but we got to stop it here. It's been 2 years, okay? It's been 2 years of this crap. Can we just get some follow-ups here? Poke a little bit, okay? I'm not saying you got to be disrespectful, but can we just work as a unit here and like just a little bit more, just a little bit?
we're asking them to, hey, you know what? There's an immigration reform plan that the president put out on the first day. They should work with us and do this in a bipartisan way.
And it's an immigration reform plan that doesn't solve the issue. I would like to point that out. It doesn't solve what's happening at the southern border at all. Typical. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments below, folks. Moving into our next story of the day. I hope you're sitting down. The story, you thought the first segment was nuts. This one is just cat out of the bag. We know what's happening. But again, the libs don't care in the same way Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't care that she's lying, because we have a clip here from Blaze Media, specifically Blaze TV, that a room goes silent when a liberal witness says parents have no right on child sex change. What's taking place within our classrooms, with what these crazy activist educators are doing, is nuts. Support the show, folks, if you haven't already, by hitting that like and subscribe button, because we need to get this stuff out there. We need to let people know what's going on here within our classrooms, within our school campuses, within the education system. and bring awareness to this stuff because it's disgusting. It's sick. These groomers are everywhere. We got to get them out. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Ms. Pocock, for staying online. I know you're not in the room. We haven't forgotten you're there. Appreciate you being here. I was curious to get your thoughts just really on, in the context of this conversation we're having today, what the role of the traditional nuclear family is in society today, and what your take is on that.
Thank you for having me. I recently had a surgery, and so I'm not able to fly. So I really appreciate the opportunity to testify virtually. What I can tell you is that research shows that young people who are connected with trusted adults, whether it be parents, in fact, just one trusted adult reduces the risk of suicide by 5 times. So the reality is, family structure is important. And, those of us in this community know that we have family structures in which our children are very taken care of, have great health outcomes, similar to others who might be in different structured households. But the truth is anyone can be a trusted adult and impact the outcomes for young people. And so that's why we're constantly educated.
Pedophile could be a trusted adult, somebody that wants to see your wahoo or yoo-hoo a little chopped off, your breasts removed, you to take hormone or puberty blockers. It's all trusted, folks. A trusted adult could be anybody and anything. Okay, just know that. That's according to these people. You could sit there and prey on little girls and little boys, and you could be trusted. That's you'll see. You'll see.
Educating the community, be the trusted adult for the young person. No matter where you are, you could be a teacher, you could be a neighbor. If that young person trusts you, they can come to you with a difficult problem they're facing, and that will reduce their risks.
Do you believe that parents have a right to be involved in these sort of discussions with their children in school?
So we have I think about 100 parents who participate in our programs to support their young people. And so at Inside Out, we believe that if parents want to show up as a partner in the success of their young people, they're going to have healthier outcomes. So, for example,
but do parents have a right to know is my question.
Do parents have a right to know what?
What their child is dealing with? For example, if there's a child or a teenager in school who's questioning their identity or those sorts of things, do parents have a right to know and be involved in that discussion?
Well, I'd say, it depends. Again, we have young people who show up at our space who are leaving unsafe, abusive homes. And in that case, we have to do everything we can to make sure that young person is safe and protected. We are constantly filing reports of abuse and neglect because.
She's dodging the question, you guys. And that should worry all of you. One, look at her room. Okay, look at the pin that's on her. Look at the way she's talking. This type of stuff is typical from a progressive leftist and activist. And we're moving into the territory of a society that's being pushed on by these progressive leftist activists here on violence, that if you don't go along with what your son or daughter wants at the age of 3, that you'll have them removed from your household, that you don't have no say in your son or daughter in terms of who they are, even though they are biologically, objectively a male or female. This is where we're going. It should terrify all of you. It terrified me that the fact that people still voted Democrat in this last midterm election with this going. This right here is just an issue that you can't mess with, because there's going to be a point where your son, your biological male son, is going to say, I'm a girl. And you're going to be like, no, you're not. And he's going to tell his teacher, he's going to tell a school psychologist, and there's going to be a point where social services walks up to your house and removes your child from your house. It will happen. They've already been talking about it. You got this psycho here.
Of parents
I understand the cases of it sounds like you're deflecting the question a little bit. I understand cases of abuse. There's laws to protect the abuse. I mean, schools actually are legally obligated to report cases of abuse, same for churches and the like, anyone who deals with young people. But, do parents have a right? Should they be informed about what's going on? Do they have a right to know what's going on in their?
I would like to ask all of you, and let me know in the comments below, and I kind of have a feeling already what you're going to write. Wouldn't it be abusive to play into somebody's delusions? I'll give you an example. Let's not even use the one they're using up here. Let's say a student was talking to somebody that wasn't there. They saw somebody, this person to them was there. You're sitting there, they're having a conversation right in front of you with just nothing, just air. Would you sit there and be like, you're right, that person is there and they're communicating with you and I see them too. Is that the right thing to do, or is that a little abusive to play into somebody's delusion? These are people that haven't had their brains fully developed yet. They can't actually comprehend certain things yet because of the development of the brain, and you're going to play into these types of things? That sounds a little abusive to me. Sounds a little wrong, little weird, but that's what they want.
Kids' lives.
So I think, again, those of us who are protecting and supporting young people are there and trusted with the information of the things that they are dealing with. In terms of parents' rights to know at schools, I mean, here in Colorado, parents don't have the right. If a young person is questioning their gender or their sexuality, there are laws in place that say that they have the right to process that with their trusted counselor and so forth.
You just heard it. Parents do not have the right. Your child wants a sex change, you don't have a right. You have no say in your child's life now. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will, other than the fact of it really happening. And we see this time and time again from Democrats going, oh, it actually happened. And we've been sitting here for years going, yes, it's going to happen. Similar with illegal immigration, like, you're going to have a massive problem on your hands if you keep doing what you're doing. Massive problem. They're going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. What's happening here? Why are you busing all these people? The same way, there's going to be a time where Democrats themselves are going to have their children removed. And they go, what happened? Oh my God, I didn't think this was going to happen. We're all going, yeah, we've been saying it for years. Now they're talking about it here and it's already happening, which I said it was already happening.
Significant amount of your work with kids, even starting at age 13.
Yeah.
What would be the age of consent then in your mind?
In our community, the age of consent to mental health therapy is 12 years old. So we have laws that enable young people to connect with trusted adults who can support them. That is just so important. It prevents suicide. And so we serve young people at 13 because we know they come to us and we can prevent negative health outcomes for them.
Okay. Lately, we've seen a lot of people in the news coming out detransitioning. Could you speak to that phenomenon and what's that person going through? Did they get it wrong? Were they going through a period? Is it just a fluid thing? I mean, could you speak to that?
Well, you know, I can't really speak to an individual's personal experience. I mean, you know, somebody's gender is just a really personal experience, but I can speak to you.
Somebody's gender is a personal experience? What does that even mean? I am a male. It's not that personal. You can all see it. What the hell is she talking about? Let me know in the comments below.
I've been in this work for a long time. I know a lot of trans folks, close friends, family members, and I just never heard a case of anyone detransitioning. So I honestly don't.
I've never heard of let's just back up. I've been doing this for a long time. I know a lot of trans people. I'm really involved. I've just personally never heard of somebody detransitioning. Again, a guy in a closet here, an average Joe that doesn't do this as a living in the sense of I'm not a CEO of some activist company or whatever it may be that's involved in all this stuff. I am an educator, so I do see some sort of this stuff. But I even know of cases, there's been people literally out there doing whole lectures as well as speaking engagements talking about their detransitioning. I mean, Ben Shapiro on the Daily Wire literally just had somebody on his show the other day that was talking about the detransitioning and how horrible it was. What are you talking about? But this is stuff they're going to lie. Even this guy, look at his reaction. Even he's going, oh, come on. Bunch of BS.
I think it's a real...
There's a number of cases in the news right now where this is happening. And the concern for parents have is, you know, we've all had awkward teen years where we've questioned things in existence and a lot of things. And the question is kids who are maybe making a permanent decision, even without the input of their parents, and making irreversible decisions. You know, there's some who've talked about they can't have kids anymore and they wish they could, and the like. And so I'm curious how we would work to protect kids. I wish we had more time.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Because I think this is an important issue to get into. But thank you for being here.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed
This is one of the scariest issues up there, folks, other than them saying they want to chisel away your Second Amendment rights, you know, slowly chisel away your First Amendment rights. There's going to be a point, if this continues, where you don't have a say in what your son or daughter does and doesn't do. It's going to be the state, meaning the school that's ran by the state, that's going to tell you what your son and daughter can and can't do. And you have no involvement. You have no idea it's going on. You have no idea that they're sitting there trying to get this transition therapy. You have no idea that they're being indoctrinated in the classroom. You have no idea that they're going through meeting a school psychologist to help them transition from male to female, to lop off their genitals, to take off their breasts, to give them hormone enhancers or puberty blockers. You're not going to have any say. And it already has happened. I'm telling you as an educator, I know for a fact, because I've been in the trainings and have been told in the past, that I don't even know their name, their actual name that they go by. It's not in the system. And their parents don't even know that their son or daughter is going through a transition phase. And the school psychologist is walking them through it. I've sat there. I've seen it with my own eyes. It is happening. The state of Colorado, clearly it's happening. Let me know what you think about this one below. This one I really, really do. As always, I don't just ask you to comment because the YouTube algorithm wants to see you engage. I really am curious. We have a community here. And I want to see how in line are we as a community. And it creates great discussions. Community aspect is very important to me, folks, and I hope it is for all of you as well. Support us always by hitting that like and subscribe button, leaving us a comment down below, and sharing this link with your friends and family on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, wherever we can get views and grow here at The Paul Brad Show. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. And folks, I'll see you here tomorrow on The Paul Brad Show.